When all I know's refuted, and all I've done is past, when my life lies uprooted, I'll welcome you at last. What did I do last time? What didn't I do? Well, I didn't plant or mine anything. I didn't meet anyone who I didn't then kill. I didn't find any answers or even any new questions. I didn't audition for the leading role.
Listen to the revelation, young.
He's already said that. I know he means well, but I'd much prefer some hearty congratulations for a job well done.
Time has passed and cannot be reversed. There will be no miracle.
We've defeated all 3 giant predators, and all we can do is keep ourselves busy whilst we wait for some recognition or another goal. The mines are still around, but Echo, Ailey, Ira and Yanni all require a second heart. Oh, I suppose Ima does too, not to mention opening and feeding up Ole. It's not necessary, but it's not a bad idea, especially when I want to show everything off. I've got the gold and the amber, I've got some violet and some azure, so I can feed up Ira right now, because she's right next to me. And I've also got Yanni covered. Ima's been covered from the mine since I met her, so the only person left wanting is Ailey, and I have very little crimson and silver. So that's the general idea. Whatever else happens, I'm going to try and feed up 1 sister per episode from now on. Up until now, it could have been argued that the game has been guiding you along, providing you with quite a specific goal, even if the means of accomplishing it are numerous. The plane has been flying out of our control, and we've just been fidgeting around in the back seat. But now we've been thrown out. We're in freefall, able to move around as we please, within the confines of the situation we find ourselves in. As we fall, we may spin and weave amazing tricks. We may assume a graceful dive. We may writhe around in panic. But in the end, we're still going to smack into the ground sooner or later. Analogies are amazing. We've got a great view of Are here. She's in her second location. She also sometimes appears at the highest point of this chamber. I will visit there just after we've spoken. Apparently Ire at least gave the appearance of someone airheaded or materialistic in the original Russian Turgor. Some of the sisters have undergone such huge personality upheavals that I could barely imagine them as they used to be. But then again, the original version had a lot more exposition, and it'll be a while before I can show you something that'll help you to appreciate that fully. But there's only so much words can do to expand on a personality. If there was one downside to the characterization of the sisters, it would be that they are only ever shown doing one thing in one location.
You may be thinking you're bringing inanimate matter to life. Yes, the color can do miracles. But you don't need to be a genius to spray Nerva around. You're wasting your time on trifles, lost soul. A revived garden is beautiful, but not for long. Don't tempt color. If you use too much in one realm, the Scorpio will come. It will punish you for your mindless waste. It will kill the trees that have revealed themselves and trusted you.
I've wondered in the past, almost as early as the start of the game, whether the trees have revealed themselves to me specifically, whether they present their valuable ability to me alone, and whether they see my draining them as a misuse. Now it seems that I can overwork them. I can break their unspoken rules. In this playthrough, I'll have to go out of my way to show off those consequences, but I will get there eventually. That was close.
Your sister Death told you this is your home. But it isn't a home. It's a canvas, Golden Eyes. And we are your paints. It isn't hard to waste us, and that's exactly what you're doing. The more you draw in a realm, the less color appears there each cycle. Why doesn't more come? It's not the sisters' fault. You spread color in vain, and it turns into predators. You draw glyphs without knowing why you draw. So color gives birth to the predators. They are your offspring, your creations. The offspring of your meaningless gestures. Color comes to you, but you have nothing to accept it with. Until you've found your true heart, you do nothing but seed predators.
At least there's a way to fix it. Once we find our true heart, the predators will stop appearing. One thing we should ask ourselves, though, is, will our true hearts make us harmless by nullifying the damage that we do? Or will it make us harmless by getting rid of us somehow? So that's all from Iray for now. One last thing before we go. I pointed out a heart the last time we were here and then completely forgot about it. I was too keen to make a dramatic exit through a hole, which probably would have looked better if I made it seem accidental. There's nothing stopping me from grabbing it now. Up here is the third location that you can find Iray, and it's also a place where you can jump onto the top of that hedge. Just make sure that you remember to run, and having some azure inside you always helps. If you don't want to jump down there, you can just grab it from a distance.
Tumbleweed. This glyph creates a land golem by reviving dead roots. Having come to life, the golem will roll forward in the direction it's pushed, searching for a living being. If the golem sees a living creature, it accelerates towards it and targets it as an enemy of its master. On collision, the golem explodes and dies, scalding the victim with color. The more color you charge the golem with, the further it sees and the greater the damage it does when it collides. If too much color is used, the golem explodes, unable to absorb the surplus.
It sounds easy enough, and slightly complicated at the same time. I've never had any luck with this glyph actually myself, so I'm going to practice with it for when I show it off. You can jump out of here quite easily if you choose to get this heart before you talk to Iray and don't want to waste too much time. Slightly flimsy reasoning, but I'm just showing things off. You can also get this heart by drawing a magnet glyph on the outside and picking it into the air, but be careful not to get it thrown down a pit. Now I'm going to pass a lot of colour through me and go and plant another garden. The one colour that I don't have a ready supply of is gold, so I'm going to focus on that, and also crimson, since Ailey stands out as a sister that I cannot cater for at the moment. There are some crimson deposits in the Hump mine, but I want to save those for later, and this will give me a chance to show off another garden, although I believe there's only 4 chambers left to go. This garden, the garden belonging to Yanni, Ole's chamber, and the chamber next to hers. There are some gardens that I've already been to but not yet grown anything in. I may have to start clipping some footage, or speeding it up if the music turns out particularly interesting. The garden is attached to Ely's, which also gives me the chance to use the colour that I grow on her. Like a machine well oiled by amber at the moment. Since I don't have very much of it, I won't end up wasting very much. Twist Garden, illuminated by a neon buzz. Like any of these middle tier gardens, it's worth it to plant the colour, but keep your expectations low. I'm even managing to make the garden sound depressing now. It's actually really nice, in its own special way. Just have the silent tour.